Hey everyone, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the Officer Adda 24/7, the special session of your BRBL subject. So let's start the new act, that is the Sales of Good Act. Okay, this is the act number 2 because we have already done the act number 1, that is Indian Contract Act. So class, see this diagram. Okay, suppose this person is Vishal sir. So Vishal sir act as a sailor in this diagram, okay, and she is Nikita ma'am, okay. So Nikita ma'am will play the role of buyer in this diagram, sailor and the buyer, okay. Vishal sir want to sell this car. The price of the car is 1 lakh rupees. Nikita ma'am is ready to purchase this car of 1 lakh rupees. So Vishal sir will give car to Nikita ma'am and Nikita ma'am will give 1 lakh rupees to Vishal sir. The contract between Vishal sir and Nikita ma'am is called contract of sale. This is called what? Contract of sale class. A very simple definition. See, a very simple definition. Is that okay? So in the contract of sale class, actually we are giving the ownership. Okay, we are giving actually the ownership from seller to the buyer. So this is the exact definition, and in contract of sale, always remember we have to deal only with the movable property. Okay, we have to deal only with the movable property. That's it. You can see here. So I think this definition is clear to all of you, what exactly the meaning of contract of sale. And if I just ask you that which act deal with the immovable property, so we have a transfer of property act that deal with the immovable property. See class. So this is the exact definition. Is that okay? Please see this diagram. That is important. Any doubt? If you have a doubt, you can please ask in a comment box. Okay. Now see class. So in the Sales of Good Act now, basically we have a 3 concept that we have to understand. What is contract of sale? What is condition and warranty? And what is unpaid seller right? So these are the only content we can say that is a part of the syllabus, that is Sales of Good Act. Okay. Now class, contract of sale we have already done. There should be 2 parties, okay. There should be 2 parties, that is seller, buyer. Second, okay, the second one is seller, buyer. There should be the transfer of ownership. Price should be the consideration. So this is the key points of contract of sale. Now class, what is condition and warranty? So condition is basically we have a right to ask for the refund and we have a right to breach the contract because of the fault which is done by the seller. In warranty, we have a right only for the replacement of the items. Okay, so this is called what? Warranty. So condition, warranty, the 2 concepts. Now I am explaining you these 2 concepts with the one example. Condition. Suppose if Nikita ma'am asks to the seller that I want a bottle that in which I can pour the hot water, it can contain the hot water. Okay. So in condition class, what will happen in condition? In my home, when I just pour the hot water, the bottle become blast. The bottle become blast. In that case, the buyer have right to refund for that bottle and the breach of contract, that I don't want to do the contract with you. And what is warranty? Nikita ma'am purchased the fridge. The warranty period is 5 years. So in 5 years, if any damage will happen in my fridge, free service will provide from the shopkeeper. So this is called from the company. This is called warranty. So in warranty, only the replacement will be there. Is that okay? So these are the important key points to understand the contract of sale. Okay, so this is important concept and I hope so you people understand this. Now class, let's move toward the things that is given in your Macmillan book. So class, as we can see, the sale involved two person, that is buyer and seller. Okay. In contract of sale, the seller transferred the goods to the buyer for a particular price. See, that exactly this one. When the property in the good is transferred from seller to buyer, the contract is called sale. Okay. So you can say here, the property, what is given here? The property in the good is transferred from seller to buyer. This is called sale. This is called sale. Okay. The consideration in the sales of good is always be the money. And the sales of good cover only the sale of movable property, not immovable property. So class, please see the paragraph. That is important. Okay, so that is clear. Now, the sales of good is important so far as a bank lending against asset is concerned. The bank is lending against assets. As we know that whenever the borrower is taking the price, okay, taking the or giving the loan, so borrower will but obvious take the security. Is that okay? Borrower will always take the security. Bankers do not lend against unpaid assets in the view of seller's lien on the assets. Seller's lien means the seller have a right to hold the goods. Okay, to hold the what? Goods. Is it okay? When the transfer of property in the good is to be take place at a future time and subject to some condition thereafter to fulfill, this is called agreement to sale. So class, agreement to sale is basically, we can say this is called the future sale. Agreement to sale, it means the future sale will become sale when the time elapse, time finish, and the conditions are fulfilled, subject to which the property in the good is to be transferred. Okay, so this is the again the paragraph that is written in the Macmillan book. Okay, that's cool. Next, so this is the definition of condition and warranty that we have already done. Okay, so what you have to understand, the stipulation, that is rules and regulation which is essential to the main purpose of the contract. Warranty which is collateral to the main purpose of the contract. See, in sales of good, the rights and obligation of buyer seller apart from condition warranty is covering under Sales of Good Act. The provision of the act is relevant to the bankers. Okay, this is relevant to the bankers who often act as an agent. So class, bank also act as an agent for the customer, because for customer what he is doing, collecting bills accompanied by the documents to the title of goods and as a holder for value while discounting the bill and this one. So bank in this act also act as a what? Agent class. Okay, so this paragraph is again important. Okay, cool. Now next, unpaid seller. Unpaid seller have a right to lien on the goods. Lien means holding the goods. If buyer is insolvent, he can stop the goods. Okay, he can also resell the goods and withhold the delivery. So these are the rights of unpaid seller. Is that okay? Now let's do the question of Sales of Good Act. Dash means the consideration for the sales of good. So class, we know that for consideration, lien no, delivery no, shares no, but price is what? It is the consideration. This is the right answer. Goods that defined in Sales of Good Act do not include actionable claim, shares, stock, grass. So guys, goods as defined under Sales of Good do not include, because shares, stock, grass, movable, but actionable claim, that is not a movable, because that term is written in the Transfer of Property Act. So goods as defined under Sales of Good Act do not include this one. So this is the actionable claim. Okay. Dash goods are to be manufactured, produced, acquired by the seller after making the contract of sale. That is a future, specific, movable, immovable. So dash goods are to be manufactured, produced after making the contract of sale. This is called future goods. The dash goods means goods identified, agreed upon the time of making contract of sale is made. That is a future, specific, movable, immovable. Tell me class. Dash goods means goods identified, agreed upon the time of contract of sale is made. Identified. So identified, this is called the specific one. This is called what? The specific one. That's it. Okay, that's it. Cool. Now, dash means voluntary transfer of possession by one person to another. So I think you have done all the questions, right? So dash means voluntary transfer of possession from one person to another. So voluntary transfer, this is called delivery. This is called what? That is delivery. Okay? Done, class? When the transfer of property in the good is take place at a future time and subject to some condition thereafter to be fulfilled, the contract is called what? Agreement to sale, contract of sale, contract of future. So guys, future time, that is given. So agreement to sale is the right answer. Agreement to sell is the right answer. Now, in dash, the ownership of the good is yet to pass. Yet means that is future. Okay, so this is also called what? Agreement to sell. Agreement to sell. This is the right answer. Okay, cool. Next one. Equity share are goods within the meaning of sales of good act. Equity share. So guys, equity share, that is true. That's come under the this one. Okay. Fixtures can be regarded as movable goods only if they are intended to be severed and sold separately. So guys, fixtures can be, fixtures means suppose if an electricity pole is there, if I just sever the electricity pole, it just become the movable property. So that's why the fixtures can be regarded as a movable goods only if they intended to be severed. The answer is yes. That is the true statement, class. Yes. Is that okay? Next. If the stipulation agreed between parties is essential to the main purpose. So class, main purpose, this is called what? Condition. A dash is a stipulation collateral to the main purpose of the contract. Collateral. So collateral is what? Warranty. Okay. Now, there is a implied condition on the part of seller that he has a right to dash the goods. So implied condition on the part of seller that he has a right to sell the goods with his own choice. If the sales of good is by dash, whether description, sample, oral agreement, written agreement, there is an implied condition that goods shall be correspond with the description. So sale of good is by what? That is by description. So this is the what? Right answer. Okay. In every contract of sale, it is implied that the seller has got right to sell the goods. Exactly. Implied means by the way of act and conduct. The answer is yes. An implied warranty as to quality or fitness of particular purpose may be annexed by the uses. Uses means any act that we are doing continuously. That is called uses. So an implied warranty as to quality and fitness for particular purpose may be annexed with the uses. That is true. That is the true statement, class. Exactly. Next. The seller of good has deemed to be unpaid seller when the dash has been not paid. Interest, damage, penalty when the price has not been paid. There is no dash as to quality or fitness of good for any particular purpose. So there is no what? Warranty, express condition, implied condition what? When the dash is in possession of goods, the lien can be excised. So when the seller have goods, seller can apply the lien. That is a holding power. Dash is terminated when the buyer gets the possession. So guys, the lien will be terminated when the possession of the goods is taken by buyer. Dash, no dash to the quality and fitness of goods for any particular. There is no implied condition that we have done. There is no implied condition as to the quality or fitness of goods for any particular purpose. So this is the right answer. No implied condition as to the quality or fitness of the goods. Okay, so this is the right answer. Implied condition. When a property, the good has not been passed to buyer and the buyer become insolvent, The seller can withhold the delivery. Yes, this is the right of unpaid seller. This is true statement. The seller who has accepted the negotiable security. Negotiable means bill of exchange, promissory note as an absolute payment is no longer. This is true. Because if the buyer had given the check, bill of exchange, this is also called the price. Okay. So class, that's all for today's. So this is our English medium batch. If you want to enroll in this batch, you have to apply the coupon code, that is Y391, for the maximum discount in this batch. Is that okay? So thank you so much for attending the session, class. Thank you. If you want to enroll, the process is very simple. Click on Adda 24/7, this one. All courses, JAIIB, CAIIB, CAIIB December, okay? And this is an English medium batch. Click on this. Click on buy now. Apply the coupon code Y391. Y391. Apply. You can see here the discount is right now 80% discount is going on. If you want 1% more discount, you have to download the Adda app in mobile. Through mobile, if you purchase, you will get maximum discount in this batch. Thank you so much.